What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? You got Abbastermind, Livin Large in the building, home invasion show, holding it down, Ottawa, Canada, and that's how we do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And check it out, man. We about to talk about this big major ass news that just leaked. I think it was yesterday, actually.
Yesterday?
Right? Yeah, man. Fresh. Fresh. Right?
Yeah.
So pretty much what it is, the gist, Sony reclaimed Spider-Man. Spider-Man is now back in the Sonyverse, no longer in the MCU, not even mentioned, nothing. You know what I mean? So everything, yeah, pretty much. The slate has just been wiped, you know? All of that.
So you can't give him like a death or like, whoa, where'd he go? He's somewhere else.
No, I don't think so. Gone. I don't think so. Yeah, I think Far From Home was the last movie he's in, and that's that. You know what I mean?
I still didn't watch that.
Yeah. Now, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people would assume that Sony got greedy and took the character back, right? But that's not the case. Apparently, they were in negotiations, and Disney wanted to take more than what they got. Yeah, you know what I mean? So Disney right now gets the merchandise rights. Right? So Marvel gets the merchandise rights. So all the action figures that they've been putting out for Spider-Man, that goes to Disney and Marvel.
That's a good amount.
You know? Yeah, I think it was 5%.
Yeah.
5% of that plus merchandise rights, right? So when they went to go renegotiate, Disney and Marvel was asking for 50-50 partnership, right? And Marvel or Disney, or Sony, too many please. So Sony was like, you know what? Now we can't do that, right? And so they were expecting Disney to be like, you know what? Nah, okay, we'll counter offer.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They're like, nah, this is it. 50-50, and that's that. They want to be in charge of the Venomverse too.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you remember when Spider-Man actually went to Marvel, and they had the whole press release and everything like that, right? Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal of Sony, right? She kind of sprung it on him live, surprised everybody, including him, when she said that we're going to be releasing Spider-Man characters on the side movies. You know, so like Venom was going to be one. They said Kraven, Silver Sable, Black Cat, all of that. That's all going to be released under Sony, right? If you pay attention to Kevin Feige's face, he looks stunned, but at the same time not trying to show it.
Yeah.
You know? So to me, it's like, all right, now that they did that, Sony was in preparation, just in case Spider-Man comes back home, which happened now, right? They were in preparation, they were doing that shit right there, right? But now, Marvel is like, you know what? You guys started this, we want a stake in that too. You know?
Yeah.
Some shit like this. And Sony was like, nah, we're not doing that. They want to have their own separate thing. And, you know, they were willing to play ball from what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, right? They're willing to play ball with Disney, but they didn't want that. They're like, nah, we got to have 50.
But, like, Disney's making so much money already. Why do they want more, you know?
They want Spider-Man at the end of the day. They want Spider-Man.
Full rights, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, they already got, pretty much, they got everybody except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I think, is the last character that Marvel doesn't have.
Did they already get Wolverine, not Wolverine, Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Like, when was that? Like
with Fox.
New.
Yeah, so when they bought Fox, they got Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, X-Men, Deadpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything related to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah. That's it. That's all. They got them all.
That's what they want to do with Spider-Man.
And that's what they want to do with Spider-Man. So it seems like, 50-50, this negotiation. And then finally in the next one, it's probably going to be 75-25. And then finally it's just going to take it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. So people are like, yo, you know what? Sony is whack for doing this. Sony should have never took him home. You know what I mean? And apparently, like, yo, I'm reading this right here. This is a news article. I think it was 13 hours old. Jeremy Renner, right?
Yeah.
This is what the article says right here. Jeremy Renner asked Sony to give Spider-Man back to Disney. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like, look, they even got an opinion from Ryan Reynolds right here talking about this. Let's see this right here. So, fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe expressed anger and sadness about Tuesday's news that Spider-Man may be leaving the MCU. Two of those fans were Marvel superheroes themselves. Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye, posted about the news on Twitter and Instagram late Tuesday saying, "Hey, Sony Pictures, we want Spider-Man back. To Stan Lee and Marvel, please and thank you," the actor wrote. But again, man, it's not really them. Yeah, you know, it's not really Sony. It's Disney. Right? Fans were thrilled to have an Avenger on their side, by Wednesday morning, Renner's Instagram photo had been liked 1.3 million times, and his tweet had been retweeted more than 40,000 times and liked more than 99,000.
Oh, wow.
99, yeah, holy shit, 99,000 times, right?
Uh-huh.
So one Instagram user snarked, Sony, if you're nothing without Spider-Man, you shouldn't have him. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, who plays Deadpool for Marvel in the movies, didn't directly plunge into the Sony-Marvel fight, but did respond when asked about it. The fan tweeted at Reynolds and Spidey star Tom Holland asking, can we get a Spider-Man and Deadpool movie now? And Reynolds responded, you can, but you can only see it in my heart. Right? That's an answer Reynolds has used before. Back in 2018, when asked if a fan image of Deadpool and Captain America, Chris Evans, was real. And Reynolds responded, it's real in my heart. Right? But yeah, so this is what Sony is saying now. In a statement issued Tuesday, a Sony Pictures spokesman said much of the Spider-Man news has mischaracterized Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise, in that it was the decision of Disney owner of Marvel Studios that Feige no longer continue with the Spider-Man films. Other Marvel and Sony actors, including Holland himself, have refrained from commenting on the news. Of course they're not going to say much, especially Tom Holland now. You know what I mean?
Maybe like slip up some, like some stuff?
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Not him. But yeah, check this shit out right here. This article is like 8 hours old.
Oh.
Right? This is off CNET. And it says Tom Holland's dad joins fans calling on Spider-Man. Right? Calling on Sony to save Spider-Man. So no one wants to see Uncle Ben die for a fourth time.
Yeah.
Sony is caught in a tangled web, and now his dad is having a say. On Tuesday, Sony announced that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, who's won much praise for the current state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would no longer be involved with Sony's upcoming Spider-Man movies, which star Tom Holland. Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man, even though he's a Marvel Comics character and has appeared in 2 latest Avengers films made by Marvel Studios. We already know all that.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, while Holland hasn't said anything publicly, his father jumped into the fray on Wednesday. Dominic Holland, a British comedian, author, and broadcaster, tweeted, "Save Spider-Man," with a link to his own blog.
Oh.
In the post, Holland's dad writes that he's been getting plenty of phone calls from media representatives wanting him to speak about how the Spider-Man Sony Marvel love-in has ended. But when he offers to come and speak about his book and comedy instead of the Spidey fuss, the media interest fades. To conclude, I know nothing about the impasse between Sony and Marvel. Holland writes, I have no inside track on such issues, but whichever is dictated by the big suits at these big Hollywood studios, my hunch is that the show will continue. Too much at stake and too many dollars riding on it. And besides, everyone wants the same thing, namely Spider-Man on large screens, keeping people safe and entertained, and with Tom in the suit for the time being at least.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to stay. Tom Holland is definitely going to be Spider-Man. He's going to portray Spider-Man, I think, for another 2 movies. Mm-hmm. 2 movies for Sony. And then they might extend the contract. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So initially when I heard about this, back when they started the Venom movie, I was saying that, you know what, Sony, they pretty much, guerrilla ganged them. You know what I mean? They came in, guerrillaed their way through, and they pretty much hustled Disney. You know what I mean? They made Disney do all the dirty work, and then when the time comes, they're going to reclaim Spider-Man, and they're going to do their own thing with him.
Yeah, get him when he's big,
Exactly, right? Now that Disney did what they did. And it turns out it's the complete opposite. You know what I mean? It seems like Sony wanted to do work with Marvel and Disney, but then they said no, they didn't want that, so they wanted to sever their ties unless they get 50% of the claim.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Stupid. Yeah,
it's greed, man. At the end of the day, it's all greed. So when Sony put out their article, initially they were trying to play nice. They were saying that Kevin Feige is too busy with all these upcoming Marvel projects for him to actually focus on Spider-Man. But sources close to Kevin Feige, they're saying that, if anything, his favorite character to ever make a movie with or whatever was Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
He loved making that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Sony, they released that Spider-Man animated movie. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Spider-Verse?
Yeah, the Spider-Verse one, right? That one was a hit.
Yeah, that one was super
right? Good. It was a hit. You know what I mean? You say super good. I thought it was whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, probably like an 8.5.
Out of 10? Out of 4, how much you give it?
Out of 4, like 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
I thought 2. Only because I watched it with my daughter and I created that memory, so I gave it 2 stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did that. It was a hit, right? The Venom movie they did was a moderate hit.
Yeah.
You know,
was
like
really
it was a hit, definitely, but it didn't make the numbers that they were expecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Spider-Man movies already making bank, right? Venom made this money.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse did its thing. So now they're saying, you know what? We feel confident, especially with Spider-Man's backstory and all this shit already ironed out. We feel confident to integrate him into our universe without having to do any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it is, right? I don't know, man. Like, technically, I would love to see Spider-Man with everybody else.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I would love to see Spider-Man with, say, you know, the Fantastic Four, you know, interacting with them. You know, keep in mind, yeah, exactly, right? Keep in mind, the Baxter Building for Fantastic Four is in New York. And Spider-Man happens to be in New York. You know what I mean? So you best believe if they had that big-ass universe that they've been building up, you're definitely going to see Spider-Man, at least in a cameo appearance. Or if they're smart and they're not really trying to focus anything on Spider-Man himself, they could have like a little, you know, him swinging, you know what I mean? Just in the background, you know what I mean? While the character's talking, doing his thing, completely out of nowhere, just Spider-Man swinging in the background.
That would be cool.
You know, and that's it, that's all, right? Yeah, some shit like that. They could do something like that. But now, nothing. Scrub clean. They can't even mention him, not even previously, you know what I mean?
Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, man. Copyright and shit like this, you know? But they were saying, they're like, you know what? At the time, Marvel was going bankrupt in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So when Sony bought the rights to the Spider-Man movies, it actually helped Marvel not be bankrupt, not go into bankruptcy as quick or whatever, right? They kind of helped them out of that slump, right? But Sony was pretty much bombing, right? And then Marvel kind of came in and made those Spider-Man movies for Sony, and Sony made their money. They made their money. The deal was Sony would make its money from the Spider-Man movies, but Marvel would make its money from Spider-Man toys and merchandise. Yeah. Right? So Sony actually got saved because of Marvel doing their thing. So one hand washes the other. Yeah, you know. It's all going full circle at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But let us know what you think in the comment section below. Y'all happy about, you know, Spider-Man going back to Sony? How you feel about this whole situation? Let us know in the comment section. You can hit me up personally, though, on Twitter if you want to do that. You can find me, Livin Large 187. Once again, that's Livin Large 187, Livin Large 187 on Twitter.
You can find me on Instagram, ABBAS_2089 on Instagram.
There you go. That's what's up. But yeah, we're going to kick back to the tunes, though. It's 4:25. We got a couple more joints. We got to spend a whole hour, actually. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we got a mod coming at you only if you want it right here on the Home Invasion Show. Check it out. The track is hot. Definitely loving the vibes right here. Rockin' with Livin Large, Home Invasion Show, baby. Hey. Got to turn this down in case we get flagged. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Gave y'all the 411. Just let us know what y'all think. Once again, comment section below. Share the video, like the video, interact with us, because we like to hear from you as much as you like to hear from us. You know what I mean? For sure. But yeah, this is actually Abbastermind's last show. He's going to go back to school in preparation for that. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, right? Hey, take care of yourselves and each other like Jerry Springer say, baby. Peace.